Okay, there's a quick tutorial for our what we did yesterday. I just want to recap it. And this is basically walking through a couple of pieces of animation, masking, and motion tweens. Okay, so let's create a new file here. Okay, and so what we did yesterday was we did two things. On layer 1 here, okay, we created just a little bit of kind of scribbling. So I went to this pen tool and I just basically did this, okay. It doesn't really matter what's here, just so that we can see that there's going to be whatever, something in the background, okay. And then we created a new layer above this layer, okay, which is going to be where we have our mask. So I'll call this, you can't call it mask because it's a name that means something in Flash, but we'll call it cover. I'm going to right click and I'm going to assign this layer a mask designation, okay, by clicking mask. Okay, now you'll notice what happened there is that it indented, okay, that moved over and indented underneath that layer. Let me undo that, Command Z, okay, and you'll see that as soon as it goes back, that's a regular layer now, but as soon as I click mask, okay, it indents and applies it to this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do on this layer, okay, is I'm going to draw a shape. Okay, so before I do that, I'm going to turn this back into a regular layer, okay, by undoing, okay, to this point, just so you can see the difference. Here's my polystar tool. I'm going to draw a shape. Put it in the middle here. Okay, so there's my shape. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is when I apply this as a mask, notice it's just going to turn this into a layer and it's just going to show through what's behind it. Okay, now to edit this, if I turn off my lock for these, it doesn't change it, but I can now see what's here. So say I wanted to change my mask, I can do that. Okay, whatever I wanted to change the shape with. Be careful not to leave a line. Okay, and now when I lock it again, okay, that's my new shape. Okay, whatever shape is on this layer here, okay, that's going to be the shape of your mask. Okay, and we lock it to put it back. I can also, if I need to, I can edit this background. So say I want to turn this off for now and select all of this and change it. I can do that by just changing my fill color, and then when I lock them, it goes back to masking. Okay, so that's masking. It's pretty straightforward, and I can put as many things under this mask as I want to. So if I make a new layer, I'll make it on the top layer here, okay, and say I draw, I don't know, let's say I draw in red, okay, and this is just a regular layer now. Okay, and as long as I put it under here, you can see I can drag that layer, it's going to apply underneath as soon as I lock it. Okay, and so it's now, you can see it's indented and it's applied underneath this mask. Okay, all right, as long as they're locked, you can see the masking happening. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this layer because we don't need it. That's the masking part of this. The second thing I want to demonstrate is what's happening in the background. So let's turn this off for now. Okay, and I'm going to turn all of this here into a graphic. So I'm going to unlock it so I can edit it. Okay, Command A or select over everything. I'm going to right click and say convert to symbol. Once it's a symbol, it's going to be a graphic. I'm going to call it just scribble. Okay. Yesterday in class I did this in the opposite way. I turned it into a movie clip first, but first I've turned this, now this time I've turned this into a graphic. Okay, it's a graphic here. And now I want to animate that graphic. So let's take a quick look at what's happening here. It's a little confusing. Okay, we've got a layer, just a regular layer with incorrect name scribble. Okay, here and on that layer we've got a graphic. Okay, this is the graphic. Okay, like we've done in the past where we made a circle or whatever, a square, whatever we did, this is just a scribble. Now, if I want to animate this, first it's got to be on its own layer. It is, there's nothing else on this layer. And then I'm going to turn it into a movie clip, right? It's already a symbol, but I need to put it in a movie clip. I can't animate it. If I edit this, right, and I put animation in here, if I went here and went F6, and I said I want this to be a classic tween, and I tried to rotate it, it says you can't do that. Right? Because two reasons. One, this is not a symbol yet in the background. Okay, we're inside of a symbol, but this is not a symbol. And two, I can't put animation on a graphic. Okay, this is a graphic symbol. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all this. Click and drag. Shift F5 will get rid of those frames. Okay, what I need to do is I need to put back here. I need to put this in another symbol, which is going to be able to be animated. So I'm going to go right click. I'm going to say convert this to symbol. here, okay? And now I'm going to say this is going to be a movie clip. Okay, I'm going to call this spin. Okay, hit OK. All right, now let's look at my library here. I've got two things happening here. One is the graphic, and two is the spin movie clip. Notice the different icons. Okay, this is just the graphic, and this, when I double click this one, notice that it's showing me the same thing, but it's showing me that this is the symbol, this one right here, the scribble symbol on this layer. Okay? All right. So what I want to do now is on my movie clip, I want to rotate this. So say it's going to be 30 frames. I'm going to insert a keyframe here. Okay? And then I want to rotate this by going classic tween. Okay? And then in my properties, I'm going to have it rotate clockwise. Oops. Clockwise one time. Okay? And so now that's going to rotate. Okay, from here to here on my spinner timeline or spin timeline. Okay, so notice what's happening. We've got a main timeline. Okay, there's my main timeline. On my main timeline, I've got a graphic, a movie clip. Okay, notice when I click here, it says this is the movie clip. I double click the movie clip, so I'm now inside my movie clip on this timeline, and here I've got this graphic animated, rotating one full turn on my movie clip timeline. Okay, if I double click this, now I'm editing this graphic, which means I can change the color if I wanted to and edit that. Okay, this is the scribble graphic inside the movie clip on the main timeline. Okay, so if I run this right now, let's turn on my lock this and turn on my mask. Okay, when I run it, you'll see that in the background, my movie clip is running. Inside my movie clip is the animation of this rotation happening, and it's rotating. The thing that's rotating is the graphic. Okay, so that's the first part of the tutorial that I did in class. I'm going to stop that there and upload it, and then I can do a second one as well. Okay, this is just to practice masking.